What's up, Gemini? How are you? How have you been thinking lately? How's your mental state been lately? If you didn't know, this is your September reading, but obviously you know because you clicked it. So we're going to see what's going on for you. I have a feeling this month is really going to be focusing on your mental state, you know? And we're getting this future card out. All right, in your past, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so we're starting off with your Temperance card. When Temperance is in reverse, that means that something is stalled in your life. You know, there's no movement in something, and there's nothing else that you can do about it but really let things work themselves out. There's more moving parts that have to be evaluated before you can really have any say on how things go. One of those situations that you can't, you really don't have any say-so in, so you just have to kind of go with the flow, Could be involving, a love situation or just an emotional stance. Just an emotional situation. What was stalled in the past for Gemini? All right, so maybe your work was stalled, how much you were making at your job or something. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So you weren't able to put in more action into your job for some of you. Maybe you were losing hours. If you work for yourself, maybe you weren't being able to put in enough time and action behind whatever you were doing. Maybe you were giving out more money than you were making. For a lot of you, I think you were helping out others, maybe trying to be generous, easygoing with your money, and so maybe you were spending more than you had. And now you're thinking about this, Now you're kind of evaluating everything that's been going on in that situation. We have the 6 of Swords, King of Swords, and then Queen of Cups. You could be with a water sign. That's what I'm seeing here. You're kind of battling with your emotions versus being logical. This is an interesting situation because with the 6 of Swords here, it seems like whoever this other person may be for you is definitely a part of your big transitions that you're making in life. And if this isn't a person necessarily for you, this is saying you learning how to balance out your emotions with your logic and kind of learning how to maneuver life. I feel like that was what you were working on. I think it's providing you to move on to your next chapter in life. Like, this is what you needed to be working on. This is, the thing that you have to move away from, grow out of, grow up from. So let's see if this is a person. Who could this person be? It obviously could be a water sign, but it could just be saying that that's how their energy is. So for some of you, I see we have an Aries in the picture here. So Gemini and Aries. And then we also have Scorpio, if you look here. All right. It definitely could be a Scorpio. It definitely could be Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords. Once you really started to acknowledge the dark and deepness of that situation, clarity is what's coming towards you. You're able to look at things with a new perspective, a new lens, and you really have a stronger hold on life, because you're really looking at things from a clear point of view, and you're not in the dark anymore. Things are more exposed, things are lighter for you to deal with. Focus on trying to achieve clarity in the situation, okay? And being as honest and authentic about what's going on in this situation. Okay. In your present, we have the World card. This is an amazing card. Gemini, this is saying for you in your September, the whole gist of this energy that you're going through is completion. This is a time where you've learned something, you've achieved something in your life. You're at a position where, everyone goes through life. And at certain moments, you have these high moments, these moments where you don't really even realize how up high you are until you go back down, because it's all about going up and down, right? There's a balance in life, and a lot of people experience these up moments, but I feel like Gemini, you're really going to be feeling this during September. You really are going to be feeling like, all right, maybe I figured something out, or maybe I'm onto something, or things are really progressing for me. Things are becoming so much easier and clear for me to see. Like, maybe you've been asking for clarity. Maybe you've been wanting and meditating and having all of these desires to manifest clear pathways for you, to open up doors for you. And it looks like it's happening now. The World card is all about completion, all about finding your biggest attributes of yourself and using that for your better and greater good. And this also trickles down to everyone around you that you deem important and necessary in your life. So I said all of that to say that you're in a very good stance in September. Like, you're really going to be, and if you haven't figured it out yet, it's coming towards you. It's like you're really on an up and up, like you're moving up in life, seriously. So what could this be related to? What is this win that you're expecting, Gemini? This is very exciting. What is this win that you're experiencing? What is it related to? Knight of Swords, So maybe some transactions are going to be happening. Maybe you've been waiting for a certain email. Maybe you've been waiting for a certain amount of money to come towards you. And then others, maybe you've just been trying to get this breakthrough moment in a conversation. Maybe you've been trying to get your thoughts and put them into action. Like, things are really starting to speed up. It definitely could be in your work life. So maybe some more money coming your way, maybe a raise, getting along with people that make it easier for you to get money. And overall, just cooperation with the Three of Pentacles. It's really solidifying that you're able to work in a congregated situation and you're able to still find your own strengths and nobody's tearing you down while you're doing this. So this obviously is going to lead to bigger and better, more rewarding things. And, a lot of you, it means in revenue. So some of you are going to be getting raises to where you're the boss, to where you're the manager. Or if it's not about career, it's like you're finally the pilot of your own life. Like, you're understanding how to get what you desire. You're going towards these goals that you've been setting for yourself. It's just about the pathway becoming more clear because you've accessed a new part of yourself during this September. Let's see if there's any signs that may be involved in this new movement that you're having during your September. All right, so if there are any signs around, it's going to be a Virgo, a Leo, or a Cancer, okay? Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, okay? How can we maximize the win that Gemini is going through during September? All about air energy. So finding the balance, finding the counterpart that belongs with this situation, being logical, using your mind to actually collaborate with the action that's taking forth now. Using your own desires, the way that you think needs to be like head on. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be fixed. You need to have like this laser focus on what you want. But it's not all about the action you're putting towards it. It's more about the mental capacity that it's able to hold within itself. As whatever this thought is that you have, whatever potential it has, it needs to be able to mentally be strong enough to get through any doubts that you may cause for yourself, any doubts that other people may have for you. It's a very mentally strong season for you because you're on the winning side, and it's like you have things figured out. Things are becoming way more clear. Clarity is of the essence during your September, and it's allowing you to really have these winning energy around you, but you have to mentally fuel it so that it stays alive. Go ahead and move into the future tense of this reading, this spread. So we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And so what I'm seeing for, the next month, a lot of you are going to be presented with an opportunity, and I think some of you will take it and some of you won't. Now let's just see why, if you're not going to take it, why is that? Three of Cups. Okay, so there may be other people involved that you're thinking of. This could also be a conflict of interest of some sort to you morally. Emotionally, you may feel like you don't want to lose certain people in your life, maybe like friends or your circle around you. Family, for instance. I think you don't want to be lonely. You fear that this is not the right move for you. This isn't the right path for you. What opportunity is being presented for Gemini? What opportunity is being presented? Queen of Pentacles. So this is money, this is like financial stability, being able to be independent. This is having all of your ducks in a row. This is having the material wealth that you want, the material possessions that you want. And, like I said, this could have a lot to do with a raise, or maybe you just hit the jackpot on some weird, part of your life. And earthly abundance is very rich. That's what's being offered to you. But a lot of you are walking away from this opportunity. It's because you aren't ready to confront whatever that may be for you. How is this going to show up for Gemini? How will Gemini know what's being presented? Four of Cups. Okay, so for a lot of Geminis, it looks like the blessing has always been here. And I know that sounds cheesy, but I feel like the blessing is like lurking in the background, waiting on you to stop moping and stop, being so sad about whatever's been going on in front of your face. And it's kind of like, okay, turn around. Like, you can have all of this. Like, this road lies ahead for you to be abundant and prosperous and happy and have all of these different facets of wealth. That's a really powerful blessing to have almost handed to you, but it's almost like you're so afraid of what that means for you. You don't know where that's going to take you. You don't know what you have to lose to obtain that, what parts of your life you may have to sacrifice. That sounded a little morbid, but weighing what you get out of it and what you may lose from it, with the Libra Justice card here in reverse. Maybe you just feel like it's not the time, or maybe the way it's presented to you, you feel like it's shady or something. I don't know. Another way that you may be able to get to this is just working hard, you know? Good old fashioned working hard. 8 of Pentacles. So you can still probably obtain this. It's just you may have to take a loss before you get another win. But for some of you, you are going to take this opportunity. And what does this mean for those who will take this opportunity? Whoa, okay, so we got a lot of cards. I'm just going to go ahead and read them because there's a lot of major arcana. So if you choose to take this experience, this opportunity on, Gemini, we do have the Hangman here. You're kind of just going to have to watch and see how things unfold for you. It's going to be maybe a very surreal moment. You're going to feel like you're tripping, you know? You're going to be like in this dreamy like state. And because you may go on a new journey with this situation, you may make some mistakes. So be aware of that. You know, don't do things that could really get you caught up in some bad issues. There may be some issues that come up for you that you have no control over, but you still got to work with it. You got to go through with it. In other words, you could also have to surrender whatever happens, whatever the consequences are. You have to go through them because that's just part of whatever it is that you're trying to obtain. So be very careful that you're not risking too much, or you're not bringing more karma on yourself that you really can't afford. This will bring, you know, lots of stability, lots of, I want to say generational success. If it's not about money, you gain some type of wisdom that you internalize for yourself, and then you pass it on to your children. And this is something that they instill in their children. It's like something that changes the path for you, even though you had to go through a lot of things. That's pretty deep, you know? And then we have the High Priestess here in reverse. So it's something about not trusting your gut, or maybe you're trusting too much of your gut and you're not adding enough logic. There has to be a balance. So be very careful with that. And if you're not trusting your gut, if you're not listening to your spirit, then you may get led astray. So be very careful of that too. There needs to be a balance of logic and intuition. And then lastly, we have the Two of Swords here. So if you are taking this, you know, opportunity, realize that success in the situation is really going to be about going for what you feel is right, but also is logically right. Not like there's no blueprint for it, is what I'm trying to say. This is kind of like what you feel is what you should do, but also check what you're thinking and check if what you're feeling is going to be logically progressive for you. And I think there's a lot of outcomes that can come out in that situation. What signs could be involved in this future endeavor that's happening, or who may be the person that is presenting this to Gemini? This is crazy, Gemini. You're going through some big things here. Some really big things for a lot of you, like life-changing wins. Okay, so one sign that may be a part of this is the Capricorn card. Capricorn sun, moon, or rising. Okay, so what advice does Gemini need to have for the situation to make the right movements, to make safe decisions? All right, so we have the moon card. You may feel like things are just really too good to be true. Like I said, that dreamy state that I feel like you're going to be experiencing. The moon card kind of suggests that you allow yourself to feel whatever that weird spell feeling is for you. Kind of like that, I don't know what's happening, but I know something good's about to happen. Kind of ride that energy out. And then once you do that, combine that with your intuition and your logic to have guidance. You're going to be like feeling like, okay, well, I don't know what's really going on. I know something good's going to happen. I know something's on its horizon, but I don't know how to find guidance for that. And the way that you listen for guidance is to listen to your gut and that voice in the back of your head, your spirit. You know, listen to spirit. If you feel like something's off, it's probably off. Whatever your gut is trying to tell you, you know, take note of that at least, and at least evaluate what you're feeling. It may not be true, it may not be what you need to do, but it may lead you into figuring out what the right answer is for you. It's going to be pretty trippy for you. In other words, you know, it's going to be one of those situations where people are like, I don't really know how I got to this point, but I know that it was supposed to happen. It was ordained for me to go through all of this. It's like you kind of just wake up and you're at a new point in your life, but you, of course you were there the whole time. It's just like a weird way that you got to it, or it's a feeling that you can't describe. You just know that it was life, it was God, it was energy moving you toward whatever you're going towards, okay? Yeah, that's pretty deep, Gemini. This is a really good reading. I'm actually very excited for y'all because this is a lot of winning and some really, really big opportunities, I think. are on the horizon for you. So, you know, keep that in mind and keep pushing forward. If you would like a personal private reading with me, you can book one by emailing me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com. You can also like this video to show that you support me. You can leave a comment always. And then also subscribe to the channel if you're here already, especially if you made it this far. Go ahead and subscribe and then hit that notification bell next to it so you can make sure you're notified when I upload for your sign, Gemini. And yeah, I think that's it. I love you guys so, so much. And let me know what's going on for you guys once you really start feeling that energy, because there's some big, big things happening for y'all. Super excited for you all. Good luck. Enjoy the journey. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, Gemini.